Well, hello everybody. I'm here a tad earlier just to do the usual thing of making sure we stay live. So if you want to give me the big hello, I'll give you the big hello, and on we will go. So we're live. It's going to be a 9 a.m. Zoom. We're getting all the devices sorted, she says. So is there anyone, 2 people watching? Hello, Pip. My goodness, you are such a faithful and continuous person doing this. Can you believe it's Wednesday? Although I actually WhatsApped every person today saying, Zoom, Facebook Live, it's Tuesday. Margaret, enjoy your workout. So today we're going to do the bar and the roller. It's going to be a bit of a heated moment and intense, no apology there. But the rules still apply. Make sure you do your level and not someone else's. And don't try and kind of break the world record. Hello, Emma, again. Lovely to see you, Emma Williams. So you're using the chair. So make sure that, so we'll do all the standing work first. I might take us to hands and knees just to make sure the trunk and the quads are working as they could and should. Hello, Gemma and Susan. Bar work, which is first, although I may do a hands and knees position once I've got you all really warm. And then it'll be the roller work on the floor. So you have 2 pieces of equipment ready for today, bar and roller. So it's a good morning. You need to know, because I've been trying to set up an extra Zoom moment because of client demand, I've ended up short on time on prepping this. So if it feels as though I'm doing it as I go along, trying to be intuitively creative, then that's what's happening. Jane Fox, a good morning to you too. With the bar work, definitely make sure your chair or your surface can allow you to have both hands on as well as one hand on. And remember, well, I'll say it again, you can't overdo it. You need to take it at your pace and listen, watch and learn. If something ends up too intense, hi Emily, lovely to see you. If something's too intense for you, then have a little break. Do something like, basic squats if you want to still work out. But don't allow anything to go into your knee joints or your lower back as we usually describe. And Lorna's in here too, just checking the time. So I reckon it's almost time to get started. Get your positions. I will be going to my positions. Can we all hear me really clearly? If you want to give me a thumbs up, can hear me. Donna Lyons, lovely to see you too. So thumbs up if you can hear. And I'm assuming you can actually because you're all responding. And Patricia Creamer, bar and roller time for you too. And thumbs up I've had. So the thumbs up means you can hear me really clearly. I'm assuming you'll be able to see me really clearly. This is the position I'll be at, and I'm going to take my glasses off because I tried working out with them yesterday and it's just alien to me. So here we go. Are we ready? Make sure your kick feels lined up. Just stand near the piece of equipment that you're going to be working with. Have your feet parallel. Relax at your knee joint, pelvic position as you're neutral, and straight into a very low level squat. So you're not trying to do a full squat at this point, you're just doing this lower level squat. Okay, so you're inhaling and exhaling. So going down and lowering and lifting. Make sure your squat's accurate as you send your pelvis backwards and up. The first time we do a mobilizing move to your warm-up is now. So stay in that squat. Double check everything as usual. You want your thighs parallel. You want your knee joints not forwards of your knees, and you want your low through your heels. Breathing out then, you've got your basic tilt. And inhale, release back to neutral. Breath out, it's a pelvic floor. Flexion through the oblique area, not overly moving all of the spine, just the lumbar. 2 more. Pressing down through your heels, spreading your toes. 1 more, don't let the chest drop too low. And let that go. Next breath out is just bend, forwards dip the ribs. And inhale into this position to stretch your back. Breathing out, pull your shoulder blades together and get the chest to lengthen again. Do that once more. The breath out is the forwards bend of the rib cage oblique. Breathe into the back cavity of the ribs, and then breathing out, up you come, and standing up. From that position there, then you're going into your rolling ankle work. So we're going to lift and lower. Breath out, core connect, the knees stay soft as you roll up and down. The crown of the head is reaching, the shoulders are open, and you're rolling without the legs locking down. Ideally, as you lift up and you lower down, there's no drift forwards, there's just pure control coming from the calf muscle, the arches of the feet, and your pelvic position stays as it should in neutral. And let this be the last one. Okay, final warming up is going to be step to the side and squat, and step back. So step sideways, squat, and back. Put your hands across your chest. So they're learning to place the foot level with the other foot. So have a quick look down. Exhale, it's a wide squat, and back. 2 more. Last one. Stay here. From this position here, then breathe out and roll to tiptoes. Inhale and lower. So we're simply doing a warm-up to keep all of your pelvic position as you lift and lower through the ankles. Your core's connected, your chest hasn't dropped. In your mind, think of your cleavage pointing a horizontal line away. If you haven't got a cleavage, think of your sternum. Breathe, the sternum's mid-pec area. All right, last time for these tiptoe reaches. Stay there, and when we're going away from the equipment and back. So we've got the same movement pattern, learning to step together and step away. So you're keeping going the same side, in other words, one leg that stays static while the other leg takes you across your mat and back. Your breath, obviously if you don't breathe, you don't really do Pilates, you just do a bit of a gym workout. But we wouldn't want that, would we? Because you could just be on YouTube for that. Okay, away we go to stay. So you're back in this position here. Final warm-up now is tilt the pelvis so you end up in more of a flat back position. So it'd look like this. Flat back position now. Because I'm massively lordotic, I don't get a brilliant flat back, but neither do I tuck my bottom under too much. So just here, ask your thighs to open out more. So I often put my hands on my knee joint, asking my hip to keep its space. Always check your feet. You've got to have the heel dominant, the outsides of the foot, and feet level. We're going to do a quick stretch here. So staying down there, you're as upright as you can be without anything happening to your lumbar spine. Take one arm up, big breath in. Exhale, deepen, and reach into a side bend. Inhale and hold that shape, deepen more. Exhaling and come back up. To the other side, so you find your deep squat. You feel as though your sitting bones are reaching to the floor underneath you. Take one arm up, big breath in. Exhale, deepen, and reach into your side bend. Big breath in, deepen, and come all the way back up. Wonderful. All right, now we start the bar workout. That was your warm-up. You're going to start with this straightforward. Let's have the legs close together. We haven't done much of that. So your legs are going to bend, pick up to tiptoes, stand up and lower. Ankles roll and lowering down. Inhaling and exhaling as you go. One hand on the bar means that you're more likely to get great technique. I'll repeat the dynamic of what's happening. It's the bend of the ankle, pick up the ankle and roll back down, or pick up the heel. So you're rolling through your ankle joint, gentle bend at the knee joint, and inhaling regularly, exhaling, last time, and stay. Your heels are down, go to turn out. I'm going to slow this one down because it's a little more intense. You've got your plie position, you're straight away into your side bottom glute med area. You're in neutral always for this. Pick up your heels, keep them together. Stand up tall, go back to where you've just been and press your heels down and you're back to standing turn out. Plie, pick up, I hope Pip's enjoying this. Bring out the inner ballerina, Tom loves this. And down you go. And we go, plie, heel raise, reaching into your, pull those inner thighs tight together and then reverse it and go down and repeat. 1, 2, up, inner thighs tight, back down, heel press. We're going to make it go a little bit more rhythmical. So you go up and down, Plie, heels up, legs lengthen and down. Inhaling, exhale for the elevation and back down. So on this type of movement pattern, there's no reason why you can't just make your breathing rhythmical. But what you do need to make sure happens is the pelvic floor draws up, the inner thighs squeeze together in this moment here. So don't think of it as all in your ankles. I can feel nothing in my calves and everything in my glutes. Last two. Waking up, warming up, the breath. Last one. And here you go. Okay, from that position there then, you're going back to your parallel and we're rolling to tiptoes. At this point we'll stay. In the tiptoes position, you've got your flat back squats. Your thighs have got a tiny gap between them. The feet are definitely parallel and your pelvis is neutral. I'm going to more or less do 5 of every position. So make this your last one and stay in it. So staying down in it. This is called intense and tight. Check your thighs as they should be. Thumb on rib cage, fingertips on hip bones. Breath out and pelvic tilt. Inhaling and return. Remember your pelvic tilt originates through the pelvic floor, the front lift. The pubis tips up and back down. Last one. And stay there. You're now going to go down deeper and back up a tad. Check your knees. 2. And your arms are really relaxed. So even though you've got one hand on a piece of equipment, it could even be a roller, you feel as though everything's aligned and symmetrical. Is this the last one here? Last one there. Breathe and pelvic tilt. This is the moment of real intensity. So it's built up bit by bit. 2 more pelvic tilts. So the upper body, the navel to the neck stays without moving. Last one. And up you go and squeeze your heels together. So now in turn up, place your feet if you need to. You've still got this elegance going on in the upper body. You're in a ballerina, of which I was not one. So we plie and we stand. Now if you wanted to add the outside arm turning and centre, that adds a little bit more demand on the pelvic stability. Therefore your obliques have to work quite hard. So if you turn your head and turn your arm, that's what you get. Stay down, put your hands on your hips. Exhale, pelvic tilt. Inhaling, my heels are tight together. The pubis tilts forwards, the tailbone under. The navel to the neck does nothing. It's all lumbar pelvis melt. And return, use your breath out, not a bum squeeze. And then you're going to go up and down an inch, staying in neutral. So now we build up the muscle on the inside of the knee joint. Feels lovely, doesn't it? You need to know that my legs have never worked so hard. 2 more moments. 1 more, and pelvic tilt again. The pelvic tilt, when done accurately, will release any tension in the lumbar. You've got to use your pelvic floor. You've got to use your lower obliques. And it's your last one. And up you come, and you're back into parallel. From that position there then, we're going into our wide plie. You need to know you're going to do all of these the other way round. So, wide plie, down you go. Keep hold of the piece of equipment. Make your knees wide. And wide. Okay. Stay. From here, as much as neutral as you can be. Flat spine, like so. Remember, I'm lordotic, so I will do a little bit of a hip hinge, because then it's more pertinent to the right areas. If you're a real flat back, don't overdo the tucking. Whichever way, back to position. As the open area, one hand on, and pick up your heels and lower. Make sure your feet are level with each other. So we have 3 more of these. If it's in the front of your hip, what I call the knicker line, then you're 2 tucked under, and you need to probably hinge forwards a bit more to keep it in the right area. You don't want to overdo anything front hip area. Stay on your tiptoes this time. So now we go down. and down. Pull your knees wide open as you go down and down. Time we go down and stay. So staying down here, put your heel nearest the equipment on the floor and deepen. So you press into this heel that's to the floor. You're breathing deeply in and out. Remember, you're probably looking across your floor rather than poking your chin forwards. And switch sides. So we go the other side. We go heel, heel. Make sure it's not in the inside of the knee joint, but it's in the medialis muscle, the vastus area there. 2 more. And then you're ready for this. It's going to go 1, 2, 3. Come on, sit in there. Find your glutes. Keep your thighs wide open. Keep the breath to trunk connect. Another 5 and 4. Breathing 3 and 2 and 1. And oh my goodness, heels down. From that position there, let's have your back to the bar before we do the other side. So you turn away, ready to use some floor space. We'll be in all fours. So find a little bit of a squat, sit your bottom back to where you've been working from. Exhale, lose any tension in the upper back. Your first position here is to stretch your hamstring area. So your feet are flat, your hands are flat, and your head is hanging. From there then, pick up to tiptoes and walk your hands across your mat. Once you're there, bend your knees. So now I've got the diagonal line with the thigh bones. If you need to get your knees a bit closer to you, do so. But we'll go straight into your tricep dip. So this will take the attention off the legs so that I can hammer you a bit more. Triceps. So straight down, push that floor away. Elbows back to your hip joints. Abdominals. Keep the shoulders away from the neck. Travel forwards through the upper body. And another 2. Elbows back. Another 1. Are you ready? We now need the pyramid to stretch you through the chest before we come back up. So this is how it looks. Shoulders over the wrist initially, hips high, heels high, and then press the ground away. Keep your hips high, heels high. Suck your upper arms into your armpits, and then lower down to a hover. Inhale. Exhale. Big, big stretch. Gravity taking to the ceiling, you press. And inhaling. Exhale. Keep it in the abdominal area of the obliques, tailbone high, heels high. 2 more. I move through the shoulder and the pelvis. 1 more. Armpits really engaged into the lats and serrats. From this one up into your pyramid, start walking your hands back. You'll end up with your heels down. Breathe. Soften up those knees, pull your thighs away from each other at the knee joint. Tuck your bottom under. And up you come. Okay. If you don't want to change direction, simply turn and face your equipment. I'm going to stay facing you, otherwise it's pointless. So I'm going to face my equipment. And we'll go through exactly the same routine. So you've got your exhale to tiptoes. And then you're going to let the knees go down, parallel, and back up. So if you want to float one arm for this sequence, the arm that wouldn't be holding on, or just keep alternating those arms. Breathing out, and in. Flat back squat, parallel legs. Down to stay. So we stay in this one. And you've got your pelvic tilts. So shoulder blades are back over the hips. Exhaling and tilt. Inhale and release. Remember, the pelvic tilt finishes at the navel so that it doesn't involve all of your spine. It involves the lumbar to tailbone. Your thigh bones are parallel. Pelvic tilt. Staying in neutral now, we develop the quad length. So we go down and up a bit. Exhale. It's as though your tailbone wants to reach down in the direction of your heels as your knee joint increases the length over the vastus thigh muscle. You ready to stay down there? Here we go. Pelvic tilt in your deeper end. Exhale, pelvic tilt, which is pelvic floor now to spine. Keep the heels where they are. If it's too intense, simply put your heels down or come slightly up out of your deep squat, parallel squat, flat back, last time, or straight back's the best way to describe it, to be honest. And then up you go to tiptoes. For this side, heels are together and you've got your plie, wide legs. And again, if something like the plie goes to the inside of your knee joint itself and feels pinchy, then you're taking your knees too wide and you're not working through your bum, or your knees so basically worn out through old age that you need to make the movement smaller or even go back to parallel, okay? Downward stay. So in this position here, you've got your pelvic tilt again. Use your glutes to stabilise, and then pelvic floor and inhale. Remember, the pubis pulls in the direction of the neck and then the tailbone reaches away. The hip bones feel the rolling breath out. So if there's no breath out, there's no oblique involvement. You want your obliques, they're your abdominals, and they correct any pelvic issues. Okay, staying, we go into that deeper. It's known as end range work or inner range work, depends how you want to perceive it. All you know is, it's hard work. So you go down and down. We stay down because we love it down here. Are you ready in your deepest element? Pelvic floor tilt. And release. Pubis. And release. Use your abdominal oblique. And release. Is it burning in the inner thigh? Not the inner thigh really, it's the thigh towards the knee. And then staying up, reach and lower your heels down elegantly. So if your other side of this position here, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to move on because we've already done 20 minutes. So because we've effectively done both those sides, let's have you straight into your single leg hands. So we'll take you into the squat, single leg. If you want to start with both feet together, you can. Face your equipment. Then take your left leg backwards so we all have the same leg. You'll go into your lunge, which is this one here, and you'll come back. So you lunge and return back. I'm getting you to do a diagonal and back. Equal load through both legs really is how this works. Last time, and stay. Now anchor in, because we're going straight to the long quad area before we go down an inch and turn away from. Exhale, turn to the left. Inhale, return back. Breathe out. Inhale and back. We've done this every day this week. And yes, I know it's Wednesday. Thought it was Tuesday this morning. There you go. One more. And let that go. From that position there, turn and face the screen and do 5 plies. As you go down, you can pick up your heels and push back up. Go down, pick up the heels, rolling ankles, and back up. Neutral pelvis, straight spine, neutral effectively. Last 2. Last one. And as you come up, turn and face the bar and have that thigh for 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. You know what's coming, don't you? Last one. And up you go and find your plies. Big wide legs. Just going to do 3 more of these. 2 more of these. Make this your last one. And stay. Go and feel it happen. And this time when you come and face the bar, turn and face the bar, but we're going to switch legs so you don't have to change your position too much. So as you step the other leg back, we're just going to do your lunges this side. So now it's your right leg is the back leg. Your front knee is not bent, forwards over the toes, pelvis is level, and you're lowering and lifting. Keep the other thigh pulling out sideways so your weight stays to the outsides of your feet, and then add your turn and reverse. And turn, look away. 2 more. 1 more. And just hold there for a moment. I'm going to do a second set without the plies in between. Are you ready? Just have a moment where you're holding Let's go that final set of the lunge. So we've missed out the pliés because I need to make the most of time. I realise that I'm almost incapable of not teaching for an hour, but I don't have an hour because of all the other meetings. 3 and 2, keep it in those quads, and your last one, and up you come. Okay, let's do our curtsy quickly to finish off the bar work. So you find your curtsy by finding your plie. You then take the outside foot, roll up through the heel, and then take that foot behind. So as you plie and push. Simply more single leg work in turn out. The rules of this position go: make the standing leg near the bar, pull out sideways, keep yourself in turn out through both legs. You can reach if you want. Okay, 3 more. So you've done about 10, priming the back of the hamstring and side bum. The next time you come down, stay. Now push the legs sides, pull back and stand. Exhaling, sit into that pelvic position, reach the legs sides, return it behind and back. We repeat, hinge, extend, reverse and back, keeping it really simple but hugely intense. Reach, return and back. 4 more, let's go. Let's stay down here. 1, 2, I'm reaching my leg. 3 and 4 and stand up. Okay, if you want a facial equipment to do the other side, find your load going through the other leg. The first part is to reach the leg back and forwards. Back, having turn out on the standing leg. Don't tuck your bum under. Do hinge at the hip. Resist any twist at the hip bone area. And your weight is pulling out sideways. You feel the back of the thigh. Stretch the leg and return. Hinge, reach, and reverse. Hinge, navel to spine, abdominal workload through the breath muscles. Last one. Now you stay down, you take your leg to the side, bring it back and stand up. Going down, still turned out through both thigh bones and feet back up. Hinge, tap out wide. Bring those obliques with the breath in, rib cage to hip bone connect. No tucking under at the tailbone because that will simply complex the hip, which when you're older than 20, you can't afford to do. Okay, we're going down, stay. Support yourself if you need to with more shoulder. Take the leg out and deepen, deepen. So this is what we call overload. So we try and take a muscle beyond its comfort position, and that makes the muscle determined to change. 2 more, reaching, and come all the way back up. Perfect, she says. Can't see you, but I'm sure you were. Find your roller. First thing on the roller, have it going across your mat. And I need to release you through the upper body. So on the breath out, you're in all fours, your thigh bones are level, you've got somewhere to roll, so your bottom's going to go back and your chest is going to dip. Big breath in. Breathing out now, tuck your bottom under and roll the spine into a cat stretch. So now the upper back gets its stretch. You're back in all fours, but you're in cat. Breathe into the cat rib cage and breathe out and start to articulate, sitting bones to the ceiling. And let your upper body rest into your armpits. If you feel it pinchy on your shoulder, try taking your arms a bit wider. So we're now back into cat. And then make sure you bend at the elbow as well. So as we go finally, so your final time, explore your range, don't force your range. So I have a right shoulder that says, it tells me immediately if I'm not aligned. My shoulders are away from the neck, my nose points to the roller, and I roll back out of that. So that was the stretch. You're going to go back to hovering knees, so have your hands under your shoulders about the width of the mat. By using the roller, we create more stabilisation for the lats, thorax, obliques. So elbows are soft, big breath in. Exhaling, tuck the bottom under and stay with a half bent knee. It's the equivalent of elephant on the reformer. Stay with the rib cage bent and tap down. Inhale, exhale. So you're coming up to about the height of your elbows and you're watching your thighs lift and lower. Your lower back is not tucked under, but your rib cage abdominal oblique knows exactly what it's doing. And four more. My head's looking at my knees, my nose pointed there, armpits are connected, elbows are slightly flexed. And last one. And lower down, and a final reach. You might find you can reach a bit further because of what you've done. Play around with thumbs to ceiling. Still keep engaged with the lats. Are you ready, people? Roll through. And it's time to lie on your roller. Your roller now is going lengthways on this mat, and you're going to set your bottom in the same position. The bottom goes to the very bottom end. If you have a roller that we source for you, or you manage to source the same one, obviously if you've no roller, just do this on the mat. You can't be excluded. Forgive me for coughing, a bit of hay fever asthma. You need to have it so your feet are parallel. I would encourage you to bring them to fist width apart at the thigh bones and make sure your knees are level with each other. So seated rolling back on the roller is this. Breathe in, you can feel your sitting bones either side of that soft foam. It's a lovely position, not. Exhaling, backwards lean. Inhale there, exhale. And roll down and stabilise. Okay, now the obliques are switched on. You're towards your sacrum, there's no pain. Big breath in, breathe out, keep your fingers to the side knee joint, bend your rib cage. Just sit up tall again. It's exactly the same on the mat, there's just less instability. If it's too unstable, take your thighs wide, but make sure your thighs have got symmetry with each other and the knees are level. Inhaling and pelvic roll. Look between both thighs and deliberately pull your hip bones backwards to imprint. Have a breath in, breathe out, bend your ribs. This is the upper rib area. Sit up tall, inhale. Exhale, pelvic floor. Navel to spine. Do a little bit of glute med, so pelvic roll. Look down, put both fingertips on the knees. Breathe in, breathe out and return. You've got four more just like this. If it's too intense, lie on your back on the roll, keep your legs bent. Otherwise, leaning. The breath out will always be the spine bend. Your breath in is you're in your position, and your breath out, elbows and rib cage bend to control the alignment of the spine, bring you back up. Inhaling, exhale, pelvic floor. The hip bones draw backwards, so the front of the pelvis reaches towards the abdomen. Navel to spine, and exhaling, back up you come. Keep your heels grounded. Last time, lean. This time when we roll down, you're going to go down, 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 until you find yourself flat. Now you may need to shimmy down your roller, and I've got a knot in the back of my clothing, all the things that don't really make sense. So you're lying on your back, and we're straight into our ab curl. Hands are by the sides of your thighs. Your pelvic position, I'm going to suggest it stays neutral if you understand that. If you're a natural flat back, like Pip is, stay, and Susan hands, just stay with a gentle imprint. Don't overforce the pelvic tilt. If you can stay neutral, because you've been with us a long while, stay neutral. Emily, Lorna, Margaret, go to flat back. Exhaling, nod the chin and roll up. If you can walk your thighs a little bit close together so there's fist width apart, you'll get even more value for this moment. Breathe out again and roll back down. Inhale you down here, exhale, nod the chin and reach as if you could get to the side of your shin. Inhale, Exhale and roll down. Breathing out. Up. Breathing in, stay. Keep everything level. Breathing out. The whole of the back of your ribcage spine, your thoracic, should peel away one vertebra at a time. Inhale once you're up there and exhaling back down. And again. Inhale, stay. Exhale, navel to spine, shrink the chub in and down you come. Take your hands, people, so they're just at the sides, so they're kind of a bit of a triangles through the armpits area. Fingertips definitely connected. Exhale now and go to a pelvic tilt. Not dragged, but just a little bit of a kiss of the lumbar. Keep the chin in and float one leg up in the air. We're going to do lower and lift simultaneously, so breath in. Exhaling, start to pick up your other leg and then lower the other one down to a tap for the big toe. Inhale. Breath out, it's a inhale with a lower. Exhale to move the legs. The thighs are what are moving. Breathe in. Exhale, the thighs move. Inhale, it's a touch. Exhaling, the thighs move. Inhaling, exhale. Now on the exhale, add a curl. Exhaling, curl. Inhale, exhale, stay curled, inhale. If it's in your neck, you're going to have to roll up and down. You'll roll up on the exhale and down on the inhale. Otherwise, staying up here, pick up the pace of the tap. Inhaling 2, 3, 4, and exhaling 2, 3. Breathing, and check that you've got equal weight through both fingertip connections. 4 more of these. Lengthening the breath, look at your pubic bone. Remember, if it's in your neck, you simply have your head down, keep a gentle imprint and stay. All right, from that position there, take both feet down. If this is back to stability, breath out, let one leg lift up. Keep the hands so that they're really light, okay? And then lower that leg down and stay. You're going to draw circles so that our hip flexors are allowed to open and lengthen. So the pelvis stays absolutely level. And if you wanted to work really hard, you could take one hand off the floor as you work that thigh bone. Pelvic position stays. Now reverse the direction. So go back the other way. The thigh bone stirring within the pelvis. Your breathing makes this a trunk stability activity and a hip hydration mobilization moment. So I'm drawing those circles. You go down to the floor, off the floor, and then from that position there, bring the legs back together. You have the other side. Stretch the leg out. Core connect the pelvis. Put your hands, if you want to, from the waistline to the mid-rib, and then you start your circles. Notice whether or not you're rolling off the roller sideways. Engage the heel of the foot that's on the floor. In other words, by pushing in through the heel, you'll feel some of the hamstrings working as part of the posterior stability system, whilst the obliques, mine aren't working, I'm just talking. Change direction, I need to breathe. So again, I remind you, the thigh bone working within the pelvis, and imagining that you could take the thigh down to the floor, the heel will just cusp the floor. 2 more moments. You should feel this in the hip. I feel more in my left hip than I do my right, but it's all frontal and inner thigh, and let that go. Okay, final activity for your abs, it's your obliques. For this position, bring your left leg up into tabletop. Take your right hand and bring it behind your head. Your left arm is out sideways, left leg's tabletop, breath out, and roll, and inhaling down. Let's go for 10. Breathing out, the shoulder blade roll. You look beyond your left thigh bone at the outside of it. Exhaling, inhaling, breathe out. Your obliques, the belly area, the abdomen, the rib cage to hip bone connect. Your pelvic floor should be in there, and if you can breathe and not talk, you're going to get a really good postural change. Comes with the breathing, with the movement. Okay. Last one. and down you go. Bring your other leg up in the air and stay with both legs up in the air for a moment. Just have that big breath in. Exhale, push the legs to the ceiling. Inhale and bend them again. Breathe out, curl, push the legs away. Inhaling, uncurl. Exhaling, extend. Inhaling, return back down. So we've got legs straightening and legs bending. Obviously, the further your legs go away from your pelvis, the harder the demand on the lower fibres. Last time, come back down and stay. This time you're going to keep your right knee up in tabletop, place your left leg down. Centre the body. If you've squiggled and wriggled, sort it out back to alignment and symmetry. Put your hand behind your head and we go. Breath out, up you go, armpit and in. Exhale, inhale and back. You're directing your breath from the diagonal ribcage and armpit of the left hand side in the direction of the right hand hip bone of the leg that's in the air. If you don't breathe, you brace and you end up pigeon chested and barreled rather than core hollowed. Go on, 3 more. Inhaling back down, 2 more. Inhale down, exhale, come on, make this work. And back down, and take your legs down. I'm very aware that time's rushing. Slide off your roller, and I'm not wrong. Okay, we'll do a seated stretch to get some of your sides as well. So it's up to you which direction you face, but you're going to take it. I'm going to do an upper spine stretch. I'm going to do some side bending and rotation. So for this position to start with, I need to cough. Forgive me. Take your arms here, shoulders away from the neck. I can see really clearly, and the roller is level with the breast area or the pec area, and my back is rounded. I've sucked my armpits backwards, pull my arms back. I'm going to do a bending forwards, nodding the chin in without dropping my roller. So breathe in, exhale, chin nod, and then I'm bending the ribcage part of the spine and reaching in the direction of the toes. I can feel the creases of my ribcage to belly button and no bending of my lower spine. Shoulder blades are pulled backwards. I'm going to come back up. And again, in. Nod. Bend only the ribcage. Your lower back stays absolutely the same. Exhale and come back. Take the roller now above your head. Keep your elbows wide open and breath out for the side bend, lateral. In other words, side bend, pull your armpit down sideways on the side you're bending. Big breath in just here. Now exhale, turn. So I'm now turning and facing my thigh. Big breath in. Now push the roller away from your head in the direction of your feet. Big breath in. And if you want to deepen, bring the roller down as your nose goes to your knee. Breathe in just there. Pull your roller back to the crown of the head. Reverse the rotation and reverse. Come back up. Keep both legs heavy and sitting bones. Exhale to your other side. Pull your armpit down to lead the bend into the ribs. Huge inhale just here. Exhaling to spinal upper body rotation, navel to spine. Sitting bones are heavy. Breathe out. Push that roller in the direction of your toes. And to go down to your feet, you will bend your ribcage more as you breathe out and stretch all the way. Big breath in. Pull the roller back to the crown of the head. Reverse the rotated spine shape. Come all the way back up and then let that go. Okay, that's all we have time for today, unfortunately. So I hope you can play around with that. If you need a quad stretch at the end of that, simply kneel up and do your backward leaning springs. You could even use your roller. Here's me teaching still. I can never quite finish, can I? So you've got your backwards lean. And as you do your backwards lean, obviously you need to make sure your pelvis is absolutely true, that the hip bone pulls the navel, and if you needed to pull the roller down and then push it back up, there's nothing wrong with that. And you're utilising the space you've just created through the workout into your own physique. Lovely. And that should chase away anything that could contribute to shortening. We don't want short, we want strong and long. And let that go. All right, Tanya, say goodbye. It's been great. Well done for joining me. I'm going to come to the screen so I can sort of say goodbye to you. So here we go. If you need to move to say goodbye, I need to get my glasses on. I was certainly hot in all of that. So thank you ever so much, people. Lovely to see you in there, Michelle. Scattergood. Have a great day. Lindsay, loved that. Best one for me yet. Fantastic. I'm blooming hot, so either the weather's heating up my studio, just put my glass on, they're steaming up. Lovely to see you, Lindsay and Emma. So goodbye to everyone, and have a great day. Zoom classes are next. Thank you, Pip, too. And we will see you, Sarah Butler. Good girl. Susan Stewart. Sue Stewart. Bye, Sue. Take care, you world out there, and look forward to seeing you on your actual Zoom session for those that have got it. Here we go, I'm pressing finish so I can post this.